Okay, we're back, guys. So thanks for watching this next video. It's a little bit different than the first example we did. So we have to remember before we set this up to look really carefully at the terms that we have in our dividend. So let's take a look at this next example. Okay, this is the one we're going to do. Here we have p of x is 8x cubed plus 27. There's our dividend. And d of x is 2x plus 3. There's our divisor. So we want to set this up. Okay, it'll look something like this. And then we'll start. Remember, I copied and pasted this over here. This is the process, whether we're doing plain number long division or polynomial long division. Same process, okay? So we have, the first step goes into. So we like to write this over here. We're only looking at those first terms, 2x and 8x cubed. So what do I need to multiply 2x by to get 8x cubed? So 2 times what gives me 8? I definitely know I need a 4. X times what gives me x cubed? It's going to be x squared. Remember exponent property rules. So when we're multiplying variables, the exponents add. So this was a 1, needs 2 more to give me 3. Okay, so what I do with this 4x squared, is I put it in my quotient. Okay, what was really important about when we wrote a term in my quotient that we did throughout this whole problem? Or even if you go back up, what does this problem, our work, what's so important about this work? Hopefully what you're thinking is that all of our like terms are in one line, right? All of my x squareds, all of my x cubes, my x squareds, my x's, my numbers. So down here, what am I going to do, right? I have 4x squared, but there's nowhere for me to put it. So we need to catch ourselves when we do this, and we need to create something called placeholders, okay? And these placeholders are going to be spots for all of those variables that are missing. Sorry, I didn't cover this one up. Okay, so notice I have x cubed and my plain number, but I'm missing a spot for the x squared and a plain x, and then I have the 27. Okay, so we need placeholders for everything in between the first and the last term. Always ends with a constant and starts with whatever this exponent is. Whatever the highest degree is, it needs to decrease every term after that. So now when I do that, I have a spot for my 4x squared, and I can continue. Multiplication is next. So I need to do 4x squared times 2x, 4x squared times 3. Okay, so I'll have 4x squared times 2x gives me 8x cubed. 4x squared times 3 gives me 12x squared. Remember, after we multiply, we'll have parentheses and subtract. So then I'll have 8x cubed minus 8x cubed gives me 0. Be careful, guys. It's 0 minus 12x squared. That's why we have the parentheses there, to remind us I'm subtracting this whole thing. 0 minus 12x squared gives me a negative 12x squared. After we subtract, we bring down. Okay? Then I start it all over. Remember, we're just looking at these first terms, the 2x and the negative 12x squared. So on the side, I need to think about 2x times what gives me negative 12x squared. So 2 times that negative 6 gives me negative 12. And x times what gives me x squared? Another x. Okay, whatever I write here, that's part of my quotient. So I'm going to come up here and write negative 6x. Okay, once I write a number in my quotient, we start over and we do the multiplication. This negative sign comes with that number. Remember, whatever sign is in front of the number comes with that number. So I'm going to do negative 6x times 2x gives me negative 12x squared. And negative 6x times 2x gives me negative 12x squared. Oh yeah, negative 6x times 3 gives me negative 18x. Okay, sorry. Negative 6x times the 2x, negative 12x squared, negative 6x times 3, negative 18x. After we multiply, we subtract, okay? When I subtract, negative 12 minus negative 12 gives me 0. 0 minus negative 18 becomes 0 plus 18. That gives me a positive 18x. Almost done. We bring down 27, and I started over looking at those terms in the beginning. Okay, 2x and the 18x, right? I look at that 2x the whole time. And then I write on the side, 2x times what gives me 18x? And that's going to be a 9, right? 2x times 9 gives me 18x. I write that 9 up in my quotient. Okay, so then I have plus 9 here, and then we multiply. 9 times 2x gives me 18x, and 9 times 3 gives me 27. And then after we multiply, we do parentheses subtract. 18x minus 18x gives me 0. And then 27 minus 27 gives me 0. There's my remainder. So that one's a little bit more obvious, right? 0, I can't do anything. There's my remainder. So the answer to this division problem, where do I find it? Anybody remember? It's my quotient, right? And normally we would write this as the quotient, remember up here, quotient plus the remainder over my divisor. When my remainder is 0, my answer is just the quotient. So down here, there's my answer. Okay, so a little bit different with these 0 placeholders, and we can make a note of that. 0 placeholders. So when you go through some practice, make sure that you have a place to put all of your variables, okay? Because you need to make sure everything is in line. It's pretty once you look at it when it's all done. All of my x squareds, all of my x's, all of my plain numbers, okay? Good luck on the try-its, guys. You'll do those in the practice. You guys rock, and I know you can do it. Email me or comment any questions. Thank you.